Welcome to the How to Get Swimsuit Ready Without Severe Dieting workshop. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this workshop. It is highly personal to me. It's work that I've been doing myself because there's a lot of just trauma and stigma around putting on a swimsuit. And it just finally came to me that I can't be the only one struggling with this year after year. So I've put together this workshop, and it comes with a really awesome mini program that's included in it that I invite you to take advantage of as you work through this workshop and really work through how to get yourself ready to put on a swimsuit this season. So welcome, let's get started. Okay, first, I include this in all my workshops. Please understand that I am a entrepreneur, I'm a small business owner, and please do not share, redistribute, publish, or reuse my materials and content that's shared with you in this workshop. My replays are for your personal use only. I put a lot of effort into building these and the programs that you're getting ready to experience. And I appreciate that you love it. I appreciate that people find value in it, but it is for your personal use only. If you know of someone who would benefit from this, share the information for them. Let them come to this experience themselves and get what I'm offering people and sharing with them directly. So I appreciate that. All right, next up, this too is something I share in all my programs up front. It's kind of what I call the legal fine print. Please understand you are here to learn about wellness and better health practices that I am providing you information about. I fully understand that, you know, those who work with me understand that I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here to give you medical diagnosis or treatment procedures. I am not on this to provide you anything but information to help you feel better and use nature as a way to support your health. I cannot advise or recommend you stop taking prescription medications. Only your doctor or the prescribing physician that did that can do that. So you need to talk to them if you feel compelled to have a change in your medications. I can help you be informed and offer suggestions. You can certainly buy natural health products through me. I have a dispensary online that you can shop, and there's many different brands available. But please just follow the label instructions on the product that you purchase. I will offer you my very best in what I know and have access and experience in doing through my education as a natural health practitioner. So a little bit about me, if you don't already know who I am. My name is Amy Kramer. I am working towards my board certified naturopathic doctor accreditation. This will be a certified traditional naturopath and holistic health healer. I believe firmly in my heart and soul, there is a much better way to personalize healthcare than what we get today. There's a better way to take care of ourselves and our families. This is not something many of us actually get to experience, and we don't regularly get it through the normal healthcare system that we're all familiar with. So when healthcare focuses on the body, mind, and spirit as one whole and complete person, rather than just your parts that hurt, you tap into the body's ability to stimulate its own healing. You're designed to thrive and feel your best. So the philosophy and methodology at heart here is that everything I do is built on this premise that we have an innate ability to promote health within our own body. As I learn in this field and expand my knowledge, I bring it through to you in services and programs that I offer. And it's really my mission and calling to be that resource for you and your family when it comes to natural and holistic healthcare services. I do believe that we were designed to feel our best every day, and too often we settle for aches and pains or just chucking it up to being older, and that's not how we were designed to live. So hopefully you find that through this experience if you've not worked with me before. And if you're back, I welcome you back, because this is a really cool topic that I feel like just brings conversation to a place where we don't typically have it, and it's so needed. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about why you came to this workshop. So maybe you've got a trip coming up where you're going to pack a swimsuit and that's really intimidating. Maybe you've got pool party coming up with your best friend and a bunch of people from your life, and you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to walk out in my swimsuit. You, maybe you just miss being in the water. How many times have you sat in your chair or on your beach towel and suffered under a cover up, hiding because you didn't want to take that off and get in the water because you were afraid of what people were going to think and see about you? I know I've done it. I'm going to admit it. Maybe you're here because you just want to improve your health, and the confidence of feeling healthy leads into being able to wear clothes that are cute and fun and you don't feel as self-conscious in them. Maybe you're just ready to be yourself in a swimsuit, because that's really tough for a lot of us, right? And maybe you have just tried everything known and this is really hard for you. So these are just some of the things that when I was developing this, I'm like, well, why would I come to this? So these are a lot of Amy's personal whys, and I don't think I'm so far off the mark that there's probably one or two on here that you can relate to as well. But regardless of your why, I want you to write it down. I want you to remember why you were listening to this information, why you felt compelled to come to this specific topic, and what's making you want to be here now. Because we're going to tackle that and a lot more in this webinar. And it's super important that you remember this because it's going to come up again later on when we talk. Okay, so what's in this workshop? Oh, wow. We are totally going to talk about swimsuit stigma, and there's a whole bunch of it. And then we're going to talk about all the crazy things we do to feel thin and someone else in our swimsuits. Like we invite a body double to be in our swimsuit because we don't feel comfortable in it. And then we're going to talk about the effects of swimsuits, what they have, what they do to us mentally, in our physical body and in our spirit. Then we're going to get into how you actually get yourself ready to put on a swimsuit. And then I'm going to show you the mini program that you get as part of this workshop. I'm gifting it to you because I feel like this is so valuable. It's something we all need and should be sharing with it and growing in who we are and being able to wear swimsuits without just all the trauma. And then I'm going to offer you some holistic health support if you're needing more additional information, and how to get support and help from me. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover. And we're going to jump right in. So the first thing is swimsuit stigma, the myths and the folklore that are not so mythy and they're not so folklore because they are so, it's something we live with, right? A lot of us would get chills just thinking about having to put on a swimsuit. And then we're like completely frozen at the thought of having to walk out of our home, even if it's to our own backyard pool, with just a swimsuit, no cover up. So it's awful, right? There's a lot of stigma around this little piece of latex. It's crazy. All right, so what is some of that? So let's start with some of the weird designer rules of swimsuits. So rule number one, and I found these all on Google because I knew I had heard some variation of them. So I validated on Dr. Google, if you will. The rule number one from just the top designers who make swimsuits and roll out new swimsuits every year is that you shouldn't wear a bikini if you're over the age of 27 and or you've had children or you are over the size of 10. Now, the average woman in the United States wears a size 14. That means most of us, like as in probably 80% of us, per designers, should not be wearing bikinis. Okay, I don't know how you feel about that. You know, I think that's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. It kind of hurts my feelings to know that that's, per a designer, that's not a choice that I have. That's not a freedom I have, that I should not feel at liberty to put on a bikini because I'm not a size 10 or smaller. And I'm certainly over the age of 27. All right. Rule number 2 from top designers is that black is the only swimsuit color for older and heavier women. Black, ladies. Now, I don't know about you, but I live in the South, and black is a certainly hot color to wear. The other one that I saw out there was, particularly as you get older, is floral or print patterns are complementary to older and heavier women. And I don't know if you've seen some of those, but you not particularly a style that I'm drawn to with some of that, and just not my thing, right? The other top tip I saw was cover-ups are a must. Well, the problem with that is most of us end up hiding under our cover-up and never get them off, which means we never go in the water. And gosh, what fun is that? You're just like watching this beautiful water and you're sweating to death under this cover-up because some designer said you're too big to take your cover-up off. Shame on them. The other interesting thing is tummy control layering is found in almost all suits, regardless of size. So if that isn't embedding stigma and trauma into all of our mental health and minds, I don't know what is. That's instantly telling you that you can't wear a swimsuit unless it has tummy control in it, and most likely the breast control as well. Like we are just imperfect if we don't have these things in our suits. And I don't know about you, but some of them, number one, they dry horribly. So you never dry because of all the layers in it. And secondly, it's a pain in the butt to get some of that stuff on because it's just thick and gross feeling. But it is a rule from designers. The other one is you shouldn't wear a swimsuit that is more than 2 years old. Okay, well, there might be some truth to that because I know like salt water and pool chlorine and stuff like that can wear down the fabric. But if you buy a higher quality swimsuit, I just kind of have a problem if it only has a lifespan of 2 years, given the way some of these things cost. Personal opinion there. Women shouldn't wear neon, animal, or super girly patterns, as those are for young teens and girls only. Now, again, kind of goes back to the black and the floral prints. I'm not really sure why that has to be a rule. What if you're like really into the animal cheetah print, or there's a super cute suit that has that on there? What a shame that we're just limited, right? Now, here's something I found as well in researching this. The average woman would spend more time agonizing over a swimsuit and more time spent swimsuit shopping than she does for her wedding gown. That is how far deep into the stigma and trauma that we have around swimsuits. It's horrible. So it's no wonder every year when warm weather and beautiful weather, when we want to be outside and we want to be in the water, we stop in our tracks because there's just so much of these rules that are out there that we have lived with our whole lives in some cases. And it prevents us from enjoying our best days. And I really hate that for all of us. Is it any wonder we hate putting on a swimsuit? I mean, given some of that information, seriously, it doesn't make you look forward to summer at all, does it? So, it's again, it's just kind of unfortunate. And what do we do about it? So this is some of the why. We've been taught to be highly self-conscious about our bodies and in and out of a swimsuit, right? It's just something that culturally and socially is ingrained in our way of growing up and teaching our daughters and the way that we feel about our body, right? This idea that we have to have this perfect body and this perfect breast size and perfect waist. And if you don't have those things, then you're inferior, especially when you go to put on a swimsuit. Most women would rather have a root canal than wear a swimsuit in public. Again, how unfortunate. It's just crazy what designers and diet industry and society standards of what beauty is has caused us in terms of enjoying the outdoors in a swimsuit. It's the number one thing we hate shopping for, and when it comes to clothing, and rightly so. I mean, this is enough, right? It's not fun, and it's not, and it should be. It should be one of the most pleasant, free for all, wild things we do in our life is to go outside and play in water. And we can't do it. Swimsuits are the number one reason we go on extreme diets before vacations. And again, rightly so, because we're so self-conscious of what we think people are going to say when we walk out in our swimsuit. We talk bad about our body and hardly critical of how we look in swimsuits. And yeah, that's definitely true too, right? So there's a lot of things when it comes to your swimsuit that are already, and we haven't even put it on for the season, that are preventing us from enjoying ourselves and living our best life when we put these things on. And I want to help you overcome that, because it's detrimental to our health. It limits us. It creates stigma that gets passed on generationally. And it's something that I believe we deserve empowerment to overcome. So I hope to gift that through you, through this workshop and mini program, to help you overcome some of this as well. So here's some of the side effects of wearing swimsuits. Wow, when I built this list, it broke my heart. Okay. We do some just really harsh things to ourselves. We say some harsh things about ourselves. We really beat ourselves down about it. And, there's actually a statistic in healthcare about the number of women who overheat because they won't get in the water. They won't take that cover up off and get in the water. There's a statistic around the number of people who have anxiety and depression over wearing swimsuits. Again, it's a piece of clothing, and it has really messed up our ability to enjoy our life. It creates the likelihood you are going to hide food. You're going to lie about what you eat. You're going to put yourself on some ridiculous severe diet. And what that does is create isolation and exclusion, because we are feeling like we're not good enough. We can't do certain things because we are not this perfect sized body that fits in a beautiful swimsuit. It certainly contributes to our avoidance of favorite activities, places, foods, and people, because it is that powerful of a limitation for us to put on a swimsuit and just be present and open to the experience. And most importantly, it creates imbalance when all of these things are happening, right? And you are feeling guilt and shame, and you've got low confidence in yourself, and you don't feel good in that swimsuit. It then creates disconnection in the mind, body, and spirit, which is the core of our health. And if those things are imbalanced and they're not working together, then that leads to more severe problems. It leads to illnesses and recurring illnesses. It leads to long-term chronic problems with our health. And it leads to just one thing after the next, because we are not living in balance within and at peace within ourselves. And of everything that I've learned in holistic health medicine, this is the number one reason we get sick. It is the number one reason we get diseases. It's the number one reason we age before our time. And I'm not blaming swimsuits for all of that, because there's a lot of other contributing factors. But anytime there's an imbalance, you increase that risk. So again, my gift to you through this workshop is to help you remove the stigma and the trauma that is associated with swimsuits and wearing them openly and confidently and beautifully, regardless of your size, without the punishment and the shame and the restrictiveness that we put ourselves under, that has been living in existence for way too long. Okay, so let's talk about some of the crazy things we do. We talked about designers. Now let's talk about ourselves. Some of the crazy things we do to look and feel thin in a swimsuit. And I've got a list I'm going to show you here in a moment, but Before I show you, I want you to just take a moment, pause the video, and think about some of the crazy things you have done to look and feel thin in a swimsuit. I know of some things that I've done, and it's just why did I do that to myself? It just really took away from the experiences that I could have had, right? So I invite you to pause and just jot down a couple things that you have done to make yourself feel and look thin in a swimsuit. Okay, when we do those things, and here's some of the crazy things. Some of these are my own. Some of them I found through asking my friends. What we do when we are in a swimsuit, we've worn a cover up nonstop, even though we're sweating and we're way too hot. We've avoided getting in the water because we are afraid people will notice us. We've wore big hats and glasses as a disguise to take away from the fact that we're covering up our body or we don't feel good in it. We've cried in the dressing room while trying on a swimsuit. Ladies, I cannot tell you how many times I've done that. It just is horrible. Under penalty of death, threatened anyone who tries to take our picture while in a swimsuit. Okay, be honest. How many times have you told your family, your friends, please do not take pictures while we're on the beach? Isn't that where we should be taking pictures? Because we're on a vacation, we're having a good time, we're on summer break, we're on spring break, we're in an exotic location over winter break, whatever it is. Shouldn't we want pictures of us on these awesome beaches? Shouldn't we want pictures of us having a great time in water? I just, wow. I mean, but under penalty of death, we do not want to see ourselves in a picture wearing a swimsuit. Right there with you guys. We have gone without food and water to avoid looking bloated in our swimsuit. Yes, we have. We have called ourselves names like elephant when referring to how we look and feel in a swimsuit. Yep, we have done that too. We are highly aware of thigh rub. And if you don't know what that is, let's talk, because that is one of the most uncomfortable things I think we can experience. We are horrified at the thought of meeting anyone we know at the beach or the pool, even if we have known them our whole life and they've seen us at our worst. This is that one moment where it's like standing on a stage completely naked in front of everyone you know. It's just crazy. We have secretly wanted ice cream at the beach, but wouldn't dare because again, the self-consciousness of we're in the suit, we don't feel comfortable in it, we're dying of sweat, we're trying to cover ourselves up, we're already not getting in the water to cool off. We would love an ice cream, we would love a margarita, we would love something cold and sugary and fun, right? But we don't dare do it because of the judgment we think people will have when they see this person who shouldn't be wearing a swimsuit on the beach without a cover up, right? And then we have gone to a pool party intentionally without a swimsuit. Yes, I have done that. I am telling on myself, I have done that. So I know this is recorded, but I invite you again to think about some of the things you have done in your swimsuit and why you have done them. I guarantee you a lot of it is because of stigma and trauma associated with how you feel in that swimsuit. And again, a lot of this was my own experience, things that I've asked my friends about that they were willing to tell me, but it's just not something we talk about. It's just not a conversation that you hear a lot about. And I think that's just truly unfortunate because too many of us are suffering from it. And it comes up every single year when summer rolls around and fun things like going swimming and, playing on the beach just become things we end up hating because of how we feel in this swimsuit. All of this, every single bit of it, comes from wearing a simple piece of clothing called a swimsuit. If that doesn't worry you, then, I just don't know what will, because this is huge. It's something that we need help with, right? We need to figure out how to solve this so that we can live our life comfortably and freely, regardless of what we wear and when we wear it. So how do you actually get ready to put on your swimsuit without doing any of those crazy things we talked about, without being mean to yourself, without going on some weird diet that you're only eating air? What do we do? How do we get past this? Well, I'm going to give you 3 tips, and then we're going to talk about the mini program, because you're going to have enough of a structure in there to walk through a lot of things to help you build your personal plan to be able to put on your swimsuit without any of that stuff we just talked about. Okay. So tip number 1, stop assuming what other people think or say. Oh, yikes. So many of us are self-conscious of what we think we look like in a swimsuit, and we think other people are thinking that about us. Here's the huge secret. If we're thinking that about ourselves, then don't you think the other person is thinking that about themselves? They are not even looking at you because they're so wrapped up in how they feel insecure in their own suit. Okay. And releasing this limitation of what we think people are thinking gives us the freedom to actually enjoy our time outdoors in water, doing what we really love, and not really giving a hoot who is thinking or saying what. Okay. It helps us feel confident about who we are, regardless of shape or size, and wearing the swimsuit that we like the best, not because some designer said it's the only one we can wear. So while we're at it, quit buying into what designers say you should wear and find what you really, really love. I don't care if it's neon, right? If it's string bikinis or it's, whatever. Find the design that you love, the colors you love, the fabric you love, the style, and I'm giving you permission to be yourself. Because when you do this, you're automatically going to look better in your swimsuit. Automatically. And this is simple, and I realize it's not simple. Please hear me on this. I realize this is big. This is a big thing to let go. Releasing it is one of the healthiest things you can do to maintain the connection between your mind and your body. Because when we feel bad about our body, our mind tries to take control, and it starts being a dictator, and it breaks the relationship between the mind and body. Okay. And it creates that authoritative level instead of them working together. And that's one of the biggest detriments to being able to lose weight and keep it off. So again, I talked about balance between mind, body, and spirit. That's where it matters. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. So limiting thoughts stop us from reaching our goals and living our best life. I want you to identify and write down what limiting beliefs and thoughts you have about wearing a swimsuit and doing activities in it. Assess the accuracy of those beliefs and thoughts. Are they really true? Do you honestly, in your heart of heart, believe those things are true about you? And then I want you to look at some positive affirmations. And I put the one that I've used on here, that there is only one me. And darn it, I'm beautiful, whatever I wear. I don't need permission to be me, which means I don't need permission to wear what I want to wear. Okay. Do not give up. This takes a long time to get peace at. It's a tip. It's going to take some while to work through it. Okay. But I'm giving you permission that it's okay to release these things. You don't have to hold them anymore. You are perfect the way you are. And not enough of us hear that. And it's really hard to uphold that belief against all the things in the world that tell us we should be something different. Okay. So again, this is a big one, and it may take a while, but I invite you to come back and replay this video as many times as you need to hear it, that you are enough and there is only one you, and you are beautiful whatever you wear. You don't need permission to be you. Okay. Tip number 2, be honest about your diet and lifestyle. Is there room for improvement? I'm not talking about harshness, restrictive diets, crazy meal plans. I'm talking about where you can reasonably make improvements that are not going to add chaos and stress to your day, and they're not going to add to you feeling worse about yourself. I think it's beautiful when people want to improve their diet and find a way that fuels their body in a healthy way that honors who they are and what they need for nutrition. None of that means restriction, deprivation, or limitation. Okay? Your true health comes when you build the balance, again, between mind, body, and spirit. There is not limitation in that. There's love. There's not deprivation. There's grace. There's not limitation. There's forgiveness. Okay? And when you start really working on your health in that framework, you're going to find that most of the diets you encounter in this world are garbage because they don't give you love, grace, and forgiveness. Okay? So that is one thing that you get when you work with me, is that I teach you to let go of diet mentality. And that's what I'm asking for you to work on here. Is, yeah, certainly all of us could probably have room for improvement when it comes to our diet and lifestyle. We could take a walk more often. We could get up from our chair and stretch. We could have more salads versus potato chips. Absolutely. No one's arguing that. But when it becomes from a standpoint of deprivation and restriction, that creates stress, it creates chaos, and it creates disconnection within ourselves. It's not the healthy way to do it. Okay? So working on yourself is not a speed race. That's the other thing. We can always find something to work on to make us better. Absolutely. Punishing yourself for not having achieved it by now, and certainly by swimsuit season, is not constructive to helping you continue good work that you want to do. You will not reach your goals long and maintain it long term. So here, I want you to spend some time writing down and recognizing the progress that you have made in your health. Maybe you gave up sodas. Maybe you are consistent about working out. Maybe you're really good at getting 8 hours of sleep a night. All of us have good things that we have intentionally created in our life when it comes to healthy diet and lifestyle. And I want you to recognize that, because too often we forget about the work we've already done. Losing weight is a side effect of creating better health in your body. When you have that balance between mind, body, and spirit, and you are in a good place in your health, things like losing weight happen magically. Getting rid of inflammation, keeping your diabetes under control, having energy, not having adrenal fatigue, not having stress dictate your life every day. All of that becomes possible when we live from a place of health that we have created on the level of mind, body, and spirit. Again, I just can't help but tell you that this is what I do for a living. This is where I help people really bridge the gap in health that we don't get from our medical industry. It is just not something that they teach in medical school. They deal with the broken parts of us only. They don't deal with us as a whole. And the ramification of that is what you have here. We are not healthy. We're falling apart. We're having diseases. We're dying earlier than we should. And it is a result of us not having the balance in our mind, body, and spirit to nurture and maintain health on the way that we were designed to live. Okay, tip number 3. What is the first word and reaction that comes to your mind when you are about to put on a swimsuit? Mine was a swear word. I'm just going to tell you. That thought, if it's negative, and it likely is, mine certainly was, creates negative energy throughout your body. Okay? And whenever that happens, it slows your metabolism. It changes your frequency and mood. It can trigger cravings. It can weaken your immune system, so you're more susceptible for illness. negative energy, whether it's words, it's trauma, physical trauma, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, that negativity, whatever it is, impacts your physical body. It all works together. So it can't help but not impact your body. What you say and think about your body definitely matters. You have to build a living, loving relationship in the body that you have, regardless of shape and size. We can always work to make it better. We can always work to make it more healthy. But you have to come from it at a point of loving yourself where you are in the moment. Okay. And that is, again, that's a big one. All three of these tips have been huge, right? And I intentionally made them that because this is the conversations, this is the health conversations we don't get to have with the medical community. But we need to have it because too many of us are not living our best life, particularly when it comes to wearing swimsuits, because we lack these things and we don't need to. So change your words. Your body responds to not only the physical environment factors, but what you feel emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. If your words are punishing and painful to your body, then it will shield itself because that hurts. It's like taking a punch. I want you to practice positive words about yourself. And again, this is a big to do. But if it's standing in front of your mirror, saying beautiful things to yourself, right? Positive affirmations, beautiful words, whatever that is for you, do it. Find a way to appreciate your body and what it does for you every single day, even though it's out of shape, and it's overweight, and you can't get what you need to do because you're low on energy. I promise your body is still doing miraculous things. I promise you it is. And when you change your thinking about it and your words around it, you start to realize a lot more good is happening than you give it credit for. Okay. Your next steps to be swimsuit ready, because that wasn't enough, right? Those are big ones. And I want you to give it the time you need to work through each of those individually. So that's why I'm giving you this workshop for replay, because I want you to go back to it. I want you to replay, and I really want you to think through the things that we talked about in those tips. Write them down, make really big notes, letters to yourself, whatever you have to do, work through them individually and intentionally. Then come on over to this next part, your next steps. The Swimsuit Ready Mini-Program is already included with your workshop. Okay, I'm gifting it to you. But what we do there is we intentionally make your plan personalized to you. It's your goals. It's assessing your swimsuit. It's give visualization of you in that beautiful swimsuit you love. It's practicing putting it on and wearing it. It's preparation for wearing it out in the world. It's reflecting on what that experience does for you and what you learn about it. Then I also give you a community. Okay, there's a private community chat of people just like you who are working through how to be swimsuit ready. And I give you a bunch of deep bonus questions to work through in that community chat where we work with each other in a very confidential, anonymous way to support each other in building this up. And then again, I give you the workshop replay to replay as many times as you need to make this happen for you. And you get direct access from me through it all. Now, if you're looking for more, right, because a mini program, again, it's not exhaustive. You can go through it pretty quick, but there's a lot of good things to do. There are tasks in there that I give you to help you create that personalized plan for you. But you're like, well, Amy, I will do that, but I know right now I need some additional help. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about now, is if you're like, okay, great, I'm going to go through this wonderful mini program you gave me, and then you and I are going to talk. Okay, great. Let me tell you some of the cool things that I offer on the holistic health side relative to this topic. First, I want you to think back about why you came to this workshop, that very personal why, and what this means to you. Okay. And actually, I want you to redo that same thought when you go into the mini program and start working on those tasks, because that's going to help you design your personal program around what's really, really important to you when it comes to putting on a swimsuit. Now, if you're looking for more holistic health support beyond the mini program, this is what I do. Number one, I have a program called Shape Reclaimed. This teaches you nutrition right for your body. It helps you from transitioning from a diet high in sugar, addresses inflammation, and it helps you build a healing relationship with food. Because that's the one thing we don't get from diets, is that you go on a diet and you only have these 5 things you can eat every day until you lose all the weight you want to lose. And then you come off of the diet, and what do? We all gain back the weight plus some, because the diet never taught us how to navigate in the real world. They tell you this is a lifetime program, and if you continue doing that, you'll have this desired weight and shape that you want for the rest of your life. Great. But we all know that's not realistic. And the reason it's not realistic is because food is inherent in our social, cultural traditions. And we were designed to eat a variety of foods, and diets don't give us that. So what I give you as part of the Shape Reclaimed program is that I provide you a traditional Chinese facial analysis. We identify the foods that specifically thrive for your body. And then we work through the Shape Reclaimed program to get you a better relationship with food. And we overcome a lot of things that have been inherently built into us through dieting. And we break all that up, right? We create new habits, new relationship. We give ourselves freedom from cravings, and we learn to navigate in the world with food. Now, there's actually 4 phases to this program. Phase 1 is a startup phase. It's 6 weeks long. We use your urinalysis and your facial diagnosis to develop the personalized program for you. It's a homeopathic-driven program, so you get a homeopathic supplement to use through it. You get dedicated recipes for phase 1, and you get direct access to me through consultations every other week, plus an online or text support as you need it. Then, if you need to continue with phase 1 until you get to your work that you need to do for phase 1 completed, I do have a continuation package that allows you to continue it for as long as you need. When you're ready to move to phase 2, it becomes more of the navigation in the real world. Okay, this is where the diets stop and real world begins, and you don't have that support system. This program has the support system. This program helps you integrate back into the real world and do it in a healthy way that you feel confident, and you have the framework and support to do that in a way that's safe for you. And then I have a phase 3 that allows you to maintain and support, obviously, until you're ready to do it on your own. So this is a really well-designed program through the Shape Reclaimed organization. I'm super happy to be affiliated with them because I just think they've done a phenomenal job designing this. The doctor who did this, the naturopathic doctor who did this, designed it for his wife, because she went to him and said, "You help everyone else, but you don't help me." And she was going through menopause, was struggling to lose weight. And he realized, oh gosh, yeah, I love you. I want to help you, right? He designed this program. He created the shape drops and everything that goes into it because of his wife. And he has really done his work on this. And it's a wonderful program that I just learned so much from working under him. And he's someone I can call when I need help. And I never feel like I'm without an answer to support any of my clients who go through this. It's a very successful program. And that's just the results are phenomenal for people because it leaves you with a way to live in the real world. The next thing I offer is through doTERRA. It's called the Meta PWR system. This works on a cellular level to improve your metabolism response in the body. It improves the energy and how it gets converted in your cells. It reduces the negative effects of sugar, and it supports dietary changes. that you want to make overall in your health. It's convenient, easy to use. It creates that overall well-being across mind, body, and spirit. You can work on it with it to break up your cravings and use it to launch new healthy habits. This has been very positive for a lot of people. I believe it's a very powerful program. They've done a really good job with these products. They're all natural. There's no chemicals in them, and they work really well. So I do help people if they want to kind of do more of this on their own, but they know they need some product support. I think the Meta PWR is a great solution for that. I personally do cravings consultation. So this is where we sit down together and we talk about your stress, your cravings, and what that looks like for you. And we decode them. Cravings are messages from the body for certain types of support. And once you know what those are and you can fulfill those without going to the cookies and chips, you are positioning yourself to be more loving to yourself on a mental, emotional, and physical level. We outline specific recommendations based on your situation. You have access and tools for further support, and I help you build an action plan for next. So if you have cravings, nonstop thinking about food, always have to have certain foods or coffee or anything like that, this is a really great package to get because it really helps you address specific cravings and where food plays into that for you. The other thing is I like to work with people is a lot of us take vitamins every day because we're told we need vitamins, they're good for us. But if you've taken the same vitamin for 15 years, you might not even realize anymore why you take that or if it's working for you. As our body is constantly changing, everything about us is constantly changing. So if you never reassess your vitamins, then you don't know if you're getting what you need or if the vitamins you're taking are even working for your body's needs. So in this work, we meet together, we go through what your vitamins are, we test you, and I can do this remotely, but we test you to determine if what you're taking works, what you need instead, and where we can make improvements or adjustments where and if you need them. So it's a really easy session, and you can book that with me anytime you need. And I do encourage clients to do this every year or two because it's just something, again, because we're constantly changing, we need different things. Lastly, if you're just not sure where to start, I have just a general support package where you can meet with me. We go through a complete health assessment on you. We look at your specific situations and we build a plan specific to you. And, we outline what that looks like. And then I give you one consultative support post report so that we can go through any questions you have and you feel at least you have a start of a roadmap to build from. So get what you need to order the products, packages, and add-ons from this workshop. You can book your services with me at dragonsmitapothecary.com. And what you need to do next is go through the mini program, okay? And in that mini program, you're going to start to build your own plan for what you need to do to get in your swimsuit. And as you go through there, you may come back and realize, ooh, I really need some additional help. So that's why I want you to go back through this replay and go and figure out where I can help you through some of the services or packages that we went through today. And if you don't see one, call me because I probably have one. Okay. And you'll have access to me through the mini program to ask questions like that so we can really get at what personalization support you need. So what is keeping you from having the time of your life in your swimsuit? This is not a workshop where you just get information and forget it. I gave you a lot of to-dos in here. So I invite you to go back through it, spend some time really thinking about those things, and then dig into that mini program. You're going to have access through your email with a link. You can create your personal account. I do ask a few health questions up front just so I can understand kind of where you're coming from health-wise and help you identify any additional considerations that you should make in your action plan as you build out what it looks like for you to live your best life in your swimsuit. I want to thank you for coming to the workshop. If this was of value to you and you found you had a great experience with it and it's helpful, please email me your feedback. I really appreciate that. It helps me design future programs like this where I can offer value to you and helping you live your best life naturally. All right, I will be talking to you again in the mini program. Thank you.